Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's been a while since I made a video, so I figured I'd make another one. Changed careers, so I'm constantly working, no set schedule, everything changes. But today's video to me is very, very special because I finally got something for my Tahoe that I've wanted for a really long time. I finally broke down and said, you know what, I'm getting it. And what is that, you may ask? Well, that is a snorkel. Totally impractical, but I wanted one, so I got one. So, probably not going to record the whole process, just the interesting parts. But, yeah, see, I got my stencil that I'm going to tape up here. Kind of got it pre-marked with little red dots, so everything lines up. I think that's where I got it. This is one of those parts where you have one chance to get it right, especially once you drill that hole. So, if it comes time to drill that hole, that's definitely a part I will record. But, until then, I guess let's get to it. I did pick up this snorkel on eBay. I'm not going to put a link in the description because I was not satisfied with their customer service. But, if you're watching this video, since it's for a Tahoe, then you probably know that the closest fit for these that you can get is for a 80 series Land Cruiser. So that's what that snorkel is. So I'm going to try to make it work as best as possible, and hopefully I don't mess up. So stay tuned. Alright, so I got the stencil on. Now what I'm going to do, hopefully this is in the right area. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my marker, once I find it again, and I'm going to dot all the holes that got to be drilled out, even the big hole, because I'm going to put some masking tape over those. That way, when I do drill, it's not going to chip the paint. If you have one of these, you know the paint's very fragile. So, let's get to it. Let me go find my marker. I'll be right back. Alright. I think some of the hardest part about this is some of the holes are right in this body line here. But we're going to have to make it work. Forget about this little guy here. Alright, I think I got all the holes. Now what I'm going to do is put the stencil back. And just take some masking tape, go over these holes. And with the masking tape, you can either just circle back over your circle, or put your template back up and redraw your circle. You can kind of see the masking tape, or the marker through the tape. So I'm just going to circle it while it's off. And I actually have some wider tape. For the big hole. Now what I didn't show you guys is prior to me doing all this, I did take my air box out, and the whole inside of the fender I cut out with a grinder. I mean, not the whole inside, but most of what I think I'm going to need out, I cut out. But let's go ahead and circle these holes. There's one. There's one. Lost that one. There's one. Alright. bad boy back up. My little dots line up. Gotta make sure of that. Like I said, I'm really hoping this works out, because if not, it's gonna suck to trash this fender. So, wish me luck. Alright. Let's redraw this circle. Now let's check fitment again. I did go out and buy, because on some of these screws they might not reach, so I did go out and buy, what are these? These are 8 by 1.25 screws. So what I did for part of this was I went ahead and put one in here. That way this back hole I can kind of line up to where it's going to sit and make sure I'm going to clear my door, which it looks like I will. So that's that. Next step is drill. This is going to be scary. Alright, so before I start drilling, I will show you guys what I'm talking about here. I'm going to take this air box out again. Go ahead and unplug your air charge sensor. And loosen your clamp. Pull the mass airflow off. And just lift up and slide it out. But, alright, let's start drilling. I'm going to start with a smaller bit, work my way up. I do have a step bit, but it's in my drill press and I don't feel like taking it out. Too late to turn back now. This one's right in that body line. Now let's step it up. Let's see. 1/4 inch. That's what we'll go with. Didn't come with really any instructions on what size bits to use. I'm just gonna wing it. Now what I'll do is I'll take one of the bolts, see how it fits in the hole. Oh, we gotta go. This one is a 5/16, which I guess would work as 8mm bolt. Alright, that should fit. Good enough. Now, just bought this. It's a Linux 3.5-inch hole saw. Hopefully this does a good job. Get a knife and open this. Alright, this is going to be the part. It's cringe-worthy. It's so weird that this smells like a bag of fishing lures. Kind of weird. Alright, the part that's going to separate the boys from the men. There goes nothing. That really grips. Maybe I need an electric saw or an electric drill. Probably. Yeah, I'm going to get an electric drill. Give me 1 minute. Alright, I'm back. Now, when everything fails, go to my trusty Black & Decker drill. I've had this thing forever and ever. It's probably older than I am. But it works great. Always, always keep your chuck on your cord. Alright, take 2. Gotta watch it, these things will break your wrist. That. You know, I watched people, there's 2 other guys, I think one's like 6 Speed or something, then Rocky Mountain something or another. I watched them do their installs, and neither one of them used a hole saw. I was like, dude, it'd be so much easier. You know, I'm starting to rethink that. closer. There she glows. Alright. No turning back. I'm going to peel this off. And I'm going to put some paint inside of here. But I'm going to get this tape off first. Alright, the easiest way to do this, if you don't want paint everywhere, go ahead and spray it in your cap. Take you a Q-tip, cotton swab, blah blah blah, cotton swab, whatever you want to call it. Just go around the inside. But you gotta do this so it doesn't rust. Even though it is a 97, and there's probably rust already on it, which I'm pretty sure there's rust already on it. But just to prevent any other issues. Alright, so that's that. Next step, fitment. Cross your fingers. God, I hope this worked. If not, I'll have to widen some holes. Alright, so first problem is there's part of the inner fender on the back side here behind the battery that I'm going to have to drill out. Alright, so let me get that done. I'll just go hole saw straight through it again. Move my battery. I don't want to drill into that. No, it's not bolted down, but it is zip tied in. Get Oh, I broke my little model knife. There we go. Alright. Nice slime. Feel, make sure there's no wire. Well, I guess you don't really have to feel. There's a big open hole there. Alright. No wires there. No wires. Funky toy. Let's get to it. It's not going to work. Why is that not going to work? It's because there's a little lip in here. So, I guess I'll go from this side. Battery. I'll make it work. I'm going to pause you guys and I'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. So I got it started. Now let's try not to break my wrist. it off. Right. One mini frisbee. Alright. How dirty is that? Well, folks, I think I did it. I think I did it. Alright. Now the next step is the cane with these little studs. I'm going to take these studs, put them in there first, just to make sure, or to see if I need to use longer bolts. Wow, these things are really hot. We've been in the sun this whole time. Wow, that works. Alright. So, just going to go ahead. Let's half-fast screw these in. I see people putting Loctite on them. I'm not going to yet. Wow, check that out. So they gave me this one. Didn't want to see a issue here. Yeah. So once again, not happy with that company. But like I said, I did buy bolts, so if I gotta use bolts, I gotta use bolts. Anyways, I'm not gonna thread lock these in yet because I don't know if I'm gonna have to change them. So, right off the bat, well, that's not the right drill. Gotta open this hole up more. Just do. Paint. Don't worry, I will paint that inside one. Here, as a matter of fact, there's nothing over there, so hit it from the inside. Alright. That, my viewers, is how you put a snorkel on a Tahoe. But there are issues, like, you know, it's made for a Land Cruiser, so I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like there might be a gap here. Maybe I can fill that or modify it somehow to fit. Longer bolt, pull it in. But that's issue number one. It does stick out kind of far. So from the other videos I've watched, take a heat gun, bend it in some. But other than that, I mean, that's installed. I'm going to get some bolts on it. Then I will bring you back when I'm heating that up. Because you see how it's going this way and not really following the line of the truck. So I want to heat that, bring that in some. So when it comes time for that, I will bring you guys back. So stay tuned. Alright, so before I start drilling here, I'll just show you the inside what I'm talking about. But I cut all of that out yesterday. And I did go ahead and spray it with white paint so it doesn't rust. Not sure if I have to pull this piece out yet or not, but I'm going to get the other stuff drilled and then we'll go from there. So stay tuned. Okay, so a few issues I've run into is one, can't really see it because of the sun. Watch out for this ground wire. I cut right through it. But I got it on there. I got it bolted up. You see any of the bolts in there? Probably not. But the biggest issue is
battery. And right here's the inlet, or outlet, whatever you want to call it. Hits the battery. So I'm going to have to do some modifications for that. Maybe put the right size battery in, but just wanted to show you those quick things I've noticed so far. I mean, it kind of sits flush, except like I said, down here in this corner, still hard to see, but there's a little bit of a gap. I got it closed up mostly, but it's still there. So yeah, so I'm going to get out the heat gun. I'm going to heat that and bring it in to follow the roof line, or the A-pillar. So, hang tight. Alright. Hopefully we can do this without messing it up. Slow and steady, man. Slow and steady. Where am I going to want to heat it? Up over here, this whole area. I want to heat the whole thing, so I want to try not to crease it. I did see that on the Rocky Mountain Redneck, that's the name. Saw it on there where he creased his a little bit, but I'm going to try not to do it. I'm sure it'll happen back here though. Got ways to go. Stinks. I already have respiratory problems, so I don't need to breathe that in. I had to do the same thing with the snorkel head because it didn't fit. I had a snorkel head for a 3-inch, this is a 3.5. It's going to take a while. So how about this? I'll bring you guys back when I'm done. You got the gist of it. Alright, so I'm going to bring you guys in for a minute. As you can see, it's starting to follow the line some. So what I'm having to do is I'm working this whole area from about here down to here. Now also, instead of just pushing it in, I'm putting pressure backwards. So this area right here kind of pops up. So when I do push it in, it's not going to crease. And the other thing that I notice it's doing is right here, it's making it more of an oval shape than the round, which is totally fine. I mean, but that's what I'm noticing. Still got some work to do. Still got to come in a little bit, but so far it's looking pretty nice. So once I get that done, then I'll be good to go. Well, I still got to fix the outlet on the inside, but it's looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Alright, so here is the finished snorkel. As you can see, as far as the body lines, kind of follows it. So I did have an issue with not being able to mount the bracket because the A-pillar is your door. So what I did was, I mean you can't see it because it's too bright out here. A white truck doesn't help. Anyways, I took a piece of flat bar and basically bent it and twisted it, and then I mounted it. I got a little bend right here so it hugs the snorkel so it's harder to see, but I mounted it to the mounting bolts for the inside antenna right inside the fender, but it goes through the hood there. And like I said, you can't really see it, but let me see if you get it like this angle, you can probably see it, but other than that, there it is. I freaking love it. It's awesome. And then next, it's not hooked up under the hood yet because I got to figure out where the outlet comes out, you know, how it's near the battery. So once I get that figured out, I'll make a video on that. But so far, there it is, man. It's freaking awesome. Can't stop staring at it. Yeah.